Yo, what up, though? It's your man, DJ Caveman, back again with DJ IronMonkey for yet another episode of DJ Caveman and IronMonkey talking shit, because that's what we do now. We do that interactive sports talk, daily event talk, the goings on, the fuckeries on the internet, shit that might
hmm
be on our mind, but we say it with our chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
it's been an interesting day.
To say
Tigers,
the least.
Tigers in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We got the Baltimore Orioles up first. Uh,
hmm
you know, and that made my week even better than it was. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm still trying to question it if we actually had that bet if the Tigers or the Mets make the playoffs this year.
yeah, I don't remember, man. I know it's a thing we usually do, but I didn't write anything down, so I don't really know. But
Nah, because I already called a mercy kill on that Knicks and Detroit Pistons thing quite a while ago.
well, I mean,
So,
y'all got soft cat now, so
well, we'll talk about that later on. We'll, we'll
but
talk. We'll talk about that later.
the Pistons
But
look all right, man. They might make some noise in the very weak East. Uh,
nah, I don't think the East is that weak. Is that what we're gonna start with NBA?
no, we're gonna start with how your week was, man. How was your week, bro? Catch us up on the
Oh,
on the happenings.
the moves that Iron Monkey be making, huh? No, my week was pretty decent. We've seen that we actually been off for like 2 weeks. Um, Within that little 2 week time hiatus where life happens, I end up getting my name dropped by yours truly. Actually, do I say yours truly? No, that means me.
That would be you.
Uh,
You name dropped
yeah,
yourself, bro.
nah, yeah, nah. I didn't name drop myself. Nah, but nah. Shout out to you for dropping my name to a good friend of the podcast, Tom DiNucci,
Yeah,
uh,
that was good.
director extraordinaire here in Rhode Island. You dropped my name because he actually reached out to you. Very interestingly about. I don't want to say too much about the project itself, but he kind of reached out to you in regards to something that we spoke about number of times on the podcast, and you wasn't able to go through, so you ended up dropping my name, and he was like, "All right, cool, 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 bet." Reached out to me, the logistics worked out, so I ended up going across there. The 2 days of shoot. Second day was actually a long ass day. Got there at 7:30 at night. Ended up leaving about like 7 o'clock in the morning. But you know, it is what it is. It's the life. It's the life I chose. I didn't really have to do it. I could have left earlier, but I was like, fuck it, I'm here. I don't know when next I'll ever be on a set again and be in a movie. So let me just ride the wave as best as possible, and it was a great experience. And we have one more day, and that one's going to be very challenging to say the least. that's that's where we take that double dare, the physical challenge.
Oh shit.
so this Thursday coming up is our physical challenge day. So I've been stretching from early, you
Nice,
know.
nice. I'm really,
So
I'm really glad that all that worked out. You know what I mean? Like you said, I got a phone call,
mhm.
because I'm in the space where I got a couple credits. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh
uh,
yes.
and I got the call off the bench out of the bullpen for something.
hmm
I was able to slide you in there. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that everything's working out and that you're having a good experience. You know,
Yeah,
set.
the thing too about it all is like I've never been on a movie set, but I've had media training in high school where I was actually in a Cardi's commercial. I never saw the commercial myself, but others have said they saw it. I've actually reached out to Cardi themselves. I don't know who to talk to in regards to their archives, but if any friends of the podcast know anybody at the archives of Cardi's and their commercial bin, uh, let them know that I'm trying to see myself from when I was in the commercial. But conducting myself on the set, it was a nice little thing. I didn't overstep. I didn't try to push myself. Like you said off mic. Yeah, everybody got a brand on the set. So me, I'm just a regular guy. Just glad to be there.
I'm the I try to be like one of the heartthrobs on set. You know, I just sit stoically. You know, and I let my auraness and my sexiness take over. Shit, you know.
Uh,
But
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I was dope, man. I'm glad everything's going well. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see it, how it finally comes out. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a couple of actors that I knew. So very surprisingly, right? I've now switched over to watching Frasier to go to sleep at night because I've already finished like Matlock and Perry Mason about like twice in a row. So I'm
so I
like,
think
all right,
they
you know, fuck.
back actually.
Huh?
I think they brought
Hmm?
Fraser back again.
Yeah, they brought Frasier back. They actually brought back Matlock too, but Matlock is slightly different.
Yeah,
Um, I don't wanna spoil it too much for people, but yeah. But I've been watching Frasier, and there was this one episode that was kind of funny. Sitting on the set, this lady's like, you see that guy over there? I'm like, what guy? You know, there's a lot of guys in here. She's like, no, that one over there that just walked in. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. She's like, you know, he was on the episode of Frasier. I was like, no, I didn't know that. So she was telling me about the episode. I was like, oh snap! I actually watched the episode the other night. She's like, really? Oh, I should go tell him about that. So in between our shoots, like he was just right in front of me, and I just introduced myself to him, told him about it. He's like, oh, yeah, really? Oh, the matchmaker? I was like, yeah. Said back some of the line. He was like, oh, that's cool. He was like, come take a picture with me. Come take a picture with me. So end up getting a couple of pictures with him. So
nice,
it looks like it's gonna be a funny movie because there's a couple of recognizable people in that movie where I was like, oh shit, damn, this might actually be a good movie.
dope, dope.
You know,
Um,
so I don't want to drop too many names and stuff like that. But he was a big character, so it's
nice.
not giving away too much.
Well, you know, once you film it, now you just have to see if you make it into the movie.
Make the cut.
Fit in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But the fact that you was on set for so long and did so many different little looks, you know what I mean? Is the more screen time you get, the more the better your chances that you're gonna make. You know what I mean?
It's not even just that for me. I understand the game where even when you're not on camera, people are gonna pick up on your vibes. So if you got good vibes on the set, you know, they might go, you know what? If it's between A, B, C, or D, might go with D because he's cool on set. He's not overbearing. He's not pushy. Everybody likes him kind of way, you know,
Yeah.
in a nice way where I'm not overly polite. But when I went up and got some pizza at the craft table, there's a couple of people having a conversation. So I ended up bringing them a slice, you know, brought them a soda, simple shit like that. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he didn't have to do that. I'm like, nah, y'all are talking. I don't want, you know, the pizza to get cold and no more pizza for y'all. So, yeah, y'all go. No big deal. You know, just being naturally who I am. So the thing is it's people are always watching. That's the way my mentality is. So even if it's somebody up in the rafters doing like thing, I went to go tuck in my bracelet, my necklaces. She was like, no, keep them out, keep them out. They look real nice. Oh, they're popping on camera and everything. I was like, okay. I was looking to put on a tie. She was like, nah, you don't need a tie. Cool. So
That's what's up.
you know, it's something to tell my kids and my grandkids. Make myself a little interesting rather than just being, oh, dad.
It's the first step to you know, a night at the Oscars. You never know what can happen from your first experience. You might get the bug. You may, as long as you
Hey,
knock it out the park, you might get another. You'll get other opportunities, and every time you knock it out the park, you get other opportunities. Before you know it, you got a whole little laundry list of things. You know what I mean? I got a couple things that I could go watch. Like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, like I could just pull it up on the Amazon and be like, oh, this shit. I'm not in it for long, but I'm in it long enough that you could be like, oh shit. You know what
Hey,
I mean?
watch the collective. My man was on camera prominently.
Johnny and Clyde is out there as well. You know what I mean? There's a few.
Johnny and Clyde. Yep.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I got my first black actor Infinity Stone.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Where?
I, I died in a horror flick. You know what I'm saying?
Uh you fulfilled the prophecy, huh?
Yeah, that's the first. That's the first Infinity Stone as a black actor. You got to die in a horror movie. You know,
Oh. Well, it's better than being a backup dancer in a Madonna video.
You know, you gotta play a you gotta play, you gotta play a pro athlete. You gotta play a
Hmm.
heartthrob. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You gotta play the dude in like the rom com.
With the douchebag boyfriend,
Either the
like
douchebag
the ex.
boyfriend or I mean, if you want to be one on the call sheet, you probably got to be the dude who's crying at the end to get his lady back and shit.
Wait, a light skinned dude like me. I'm the shisty one. I'm the shady one.
Yeah,
Like, come on, man. Why they always gotta make the light skinned dude like extra shady? You know what? At that point, I consider myself Wesley Snipes. I'm not light skinned.
the same
Like,
reason
fuck
why
that shit.
cats are douchebags. It's just natural, dog.
Yeah, but at light skin, like that's not me. Like the Terrence Howards of the world, the Michael Ealy's of the world. Like that's not me. Like they always play like them shisty boyfriend type, like
Hey,
extra sensitive Drake types. Nah, I'm good.
hey, man,
Mm-mm.
listen. Sometimes the light skin coalition got to just come together and you know maybe one day you guys will be. I mean, y'all got Will Smith.
Come on now. We're thugging with Will Smith because of slap now. He's a thug now. He's a menace to society.
Saying
Come
like
on, man.
he's a superstar in the light skin contingent.
Okay, all right, if we're gonna go with that. But I'm saying, like, in regards to like,
He slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, so he got a little. That's like street cred for y'all, right? I mean,
it's like,
Anthony Joshua got knocked the fuck out last week, so you might have to take him down a notch. He was out there looking bad for light skin cats.
see, and that's why I said at that point, I consider myself the Wesley Snipes of light skinned dudes. Like, I'm not that light skinned.
He's
Nah, hell no.
skin Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I'm the light skinned Wesley Snipes. Like, hell no, I'm not fucking. Well, number one,
You
I
know,
got to pay my taxes, but yeah.
you know what the Ice-T?
Speaking of which, ironically, one of the guys on set actually did a video with Ice T called
Yeah,
Merciless.
actually, he told me he met you today. I saw him today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, did you, Chris?
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris. Yeah, Chris is a cool ass dude.
Yeah. This is wild.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Chris.
Chris
Yeah,
Durham. He's actually on one of the first
Chris
episodes
Thorne.
of Inside the Mind of,
Oh,
another
where?
another podcast I got going on.
That was the other place where I recognized them. I was like, you just seem familiar to me.
Yeah, we're getting ready to gear up for the second set.
Mm.
Trying to figure out getting everybody's schedule in order and whatnot. So that'll be coming along, and hopefully during Men's Health Awareness Month in November, we're gonna relaunch, and hopefully, we'll do some things. You know what I'm saying? We got some good conversations on deck.
Am I still on the docket to actually be a guest? Where it's like inside the actor's mind kind of way.
Absolutely.
Ah, yes.
We're gonna definitely
Where I'd have to change my voice and actually speak like this. A little bit more calmer tones.
It wasn't bad.
Yes.
I'll be sure to phrase my questions. You got to always go with the dramatic pause. So, when
good question.
Yeah. Let's double back. So earlier we were talking about the Yankees as we move along.
Yes.
Actually, before we get to the Yankees, we must first talk about Diddy Epstein. He's still at the top of the news cycle right now.
Oh yes.
And, every day it feels like something new comes out.
I just feel the way that it's shaded is just weird. Like, what's illegal about having that much baby oil?
It's not about the baby oil, dog. It's about the sex trafficking. The baby oil is more like an embarrassing find. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That wasn't really needed. That was just put out there to make it more sensationalized.
Yeah.
Like, why did he have all this baby oil if he wasn't doing anything?
I was like, maybe he got stock in Johnson & Johnson. Who the fuck gives a shit? Why are we? More importantly, why are we drawing attention away from the sex trafficking to talk about baby oil and dildos?
Yeah, see, even with the sex trafficking, like that, and I asked the question, like, what is so different, really and truly, with what he did and what Hugh Hefner built an empire on?
consent.
Like dudes was flying into the thing just to see half naked chicks, and you knew there was room with actually naked chicks.
But the difference is those chicks volunteered to be there, versus it's all about consent. It's all about consent. If you live at the Playboy Mansion, you agree to be there. You know
Well,
what I
see,
mean?
this is the thing. This is
If
the thing too with that. Oh, go ahead.
you agree for all of the things that happen in the grotto if you decide to live in Hef's mansion. There's contracts and shit that people sign before
Mhm.
they go there. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're gonna
But
live there and operate there. This whole Diddy shit, like same with the Epstein shit, is like you're taking advantage of women and children and youth and because like all the rumors about the like weird uh him maybe fucking Meek Mill and like a couple other like celebrities or whatever. That's like personal business. But when it comes to like
yeah,
kids and motherfuckers who don't really know what's going on and you manipulating people with money and violence, that's why it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
well, see, this is where I was thinking. Now, with the consent part and him filming people, he's a multimillionaire, right? People are in his mansion, in his house. Some people have a plus one. You don't know who that plus one is, right? So, as any diligent homeowner, especially when you have valuables in your house and randos roaming around your house, you have cameras. Now, with those cameras, when things happen in rooms, granted, those cameras might not have been put there to film those people, but they were filming those people in that room. And they were not consensual on being filmed. They didn't know that, right? So that's where it kind of gets a little in regards to, he's filming people for his own sexual pleasure. Oh, oops.
Yeah.
So
But at the same time, you're supposed to let people know about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you can't,
but
you can't
when
have
you
people
come into
you
my
can't
house, I
go to
gotta go.
parties.
Yo, I'm filming you in my house.
Well, no, but like at the same time, like you have to like the argument is also that like some of those people didn't want to be having sex in the house. Like
Mm.
some of those people are being forced to be there. You know what I mean? Like if I go in a room if I show up with a shorty and I take the shorty to a room and we accidentally end up on Pornhub because Diddy got a camera in the room, I could sue him for that. You know what I mean? But if I'm also like, but it's predatory. It's like putting
Well,
a camera.
and
It's like
see,
putting
and
a
that
camera.
that
It's like putting a
that's
camera in
all.
your bathroom. If you have cameras in
Yeah,
communal spaces, you gotta let people know.
yeah.
You know what
See,
I mean? It's
that's
one thing to
different.
have
If you have a camera in your bathroom, that's
security
different.
cameras. Security cameras cover hallways,
Yep,
doors, that type of
yep.
shit. When you
Room.
start putting cameras in rooms of like where people can spend private time, then you gotta let them know that there's cameras in that room.
But there's the
If
thing.
you're gonna allow
There's
them
the
to go
thing.
into that room, it's for your own. First, it's for your own good because if you do it without them
Yeah,
knowing, it's predatory. It's like if you record conversations in certain states, you have to declare, "Hey, I'm recording this phone call," because if not, it's against the
yeah.
law. Like you can't
But
just
see,
bamboozle motherfuckers into like doing like and then sit out. You know what I mean? Is grimy. It's grimy, dog. Like I'm not at any time gonna like make an excuse for why shit might be foggy with a predator type nigga, dog. Nah.
yeah, because but see, this is my thing. I understand 100% your point, and you're right on that. But if I have a camera in my hallway and people start having sex in the hallway, it's like
But
at
at
that
that
point,
point, it's a visible camera.
is it how many times do people actually make security like actually visible? Like
All the time.
that's the
All the time.
there's a lot there's a lot of like hubs and they have like the little black caps. Now, if you don't see the black cap, now it's not really hidden. You just wasn't paying attention. You was
When you
drunk
see the black cat,
and you was just in the moment.
when you see a black cat, it's a camera there.
No, but
But this is not about
mind you,
public. It's
but
not
no,
about public cameras. It's
but
about private shit and sex trafficking.
wait,
Like
wait, 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 wait.
we can't try to cloud this shit to try to. It's like why are we talking about baby oil? The motherfucker was trafficking women against their will for sex above all the other bullshit. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I had sex in Diddy's room and he watched that shit and got off to it. All right, buddy, that's cool. But at the same time, what about the fucking underage and people that and women that were there against their will? Let's not cloud that shit with other bullshit to try to like draw the attention
Mhm.
away.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I see that.
and then
Yeah,
like,
because
and then now it's like, yo, he's gonna write a list. And then my conspiracy theory is that Diddy might not make it to the end of the year because he knows too many powerful people. And when you know billionaires and they feel like you might snitch on them, you might have an accident like your boy from before. Because he also knew a lot of powerful people. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna look at the list and be like, if it's just bums on the list, then they're gonna be like, all right, we could fry these dudes and put the list out. But if it's real powerful motherfuckers on that list that been rubbing shoulders with Diddy at private parties and shit, you know what I mean? It could be a wrap.
see, and this is the
They
thing
feel like
too
he's
is
gonna take that shit. You know what I mean?
this is the thing too. It's an old school power play to have blackmail footage on people. That's just an old school power play. Like it's either I take pictures of you at if you're a congressman that is conservative and you get a picture taken with you of you at the Playboy Mansion with a naked chick, or getting drunk with like three chicks. It doesn't look good, and they could use that against you. So you can leverage that for favor. So the thing is with him, yeah, you're 100% right. See, for me, none of the things that he did were right. Like he's been on note with a lot of people in the community with his parties since Howard, and the Howard homecoming, and him always wanting to be seen because of that. Some people that used to go to Howard used to say he was kind of like the nerdy type, and he only used to throw parties just to become popular type. Don't know how true that is. I wasn't on campus, so I can't say. So, but the thing is he's always been on note, especially when it comes to his predatory ways. With, all right, you want a contract, you got to do me a favor, and I'm gonna hook you up, kind of way. That's never been, you know, acceptable with me. Like that play to get paid kind of way. Nah, that shit was never cool. It was just like what I was bringing up is some of the things that they're bringing up is just I see how they're trying to pad it. Like you said, the sexual trafficking, that shit was not cool. People held against their will, not cool. The child involvement, I've heard stories. That's never cool. So I'm not trying to like give him an out. I'm just trying to say, like you saying, let's keep it focused on what it is. I was just addressing the bullshit. Like, look, baby oil is not necessary. Like, why did they even put that in the report? Again, just to pad the stats and to make it even worse amongst the public. Know what I mean? So they're trying to win the public opinion and then take it to court. Because even if he gets off, or if, you know, in any particular case he gets off or anything, people in the public are not going to fuck with him at all. He's not going to have any kind of redemption at all. Unlike Drake, who could probably go to the UK and be like the Craig David of the UK.
I mean, if he gets off, then you know that he knows powerful people. And powerful people pulled whatever powerful strings that they had available.
But see, real talk though, I feel like they was trying to go after Russell Simmons, and they gave him an ultimatum, and they were like, "Look, it's either you skip town or you go down." And he skipped town. Diddy
Yeah,
decided to
I
stay,
mean,
and he's like, "Look, I'm a little bit bigger than that."
Diddy was in a non-extradition country too. I don't even know why he fucking came back, but I mean, but money makes you believe that you're untouchable sometimes.
Yeah,
You
but do
know,
you want to be on the run for your whole life like that, and then they freeze your assets and all that kind of shit? Like, huh? Like you're living in a treehouse, my guy. Like them bananas are gonna run dry after a while. Them coconuts are gonna taste kind of corny after a bit. You're not on Gilligan's Island. Like, come on now.
hey, listen, if I had the
And
means,
you have a highly recognizable face. You know.
I mean, Russell Simmons did it. He ain't never coming back. Where the fuck he's at? Bali or some shit.
Yep. And that's the thing. But he probably knew how to shift his money beforehand, so that way, whatever they try to freeze, he still had a little nest fund somewhere. He had a stash of cash in the toilet, in the toilet tank. I mean, like he was ready to go.
Yeah.
He had his escape bag ready to go.
$5 million in a duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then walk into the private plane like, peace. Did he like he's too high profile. His ego wouldn't allow him to do that. You know?
Yeah, well.
They probably also threatened his moms too. So it's like at that point, like what does Russell Simmons other than his kids have keeping him here?
Facts.
Does he even have kids?
Who?
Russell Simmons. And Kamara Lee. Yeah, I think he does.
I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
But she's in a whole other thing herself with homeboy too.
Let's make a switch. Let's get on over back. We talk about these Detroit Tigers. You know what I'm saying, in the playoffs.
Oh boy. So what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. The Mets got to play a doubleheader tomorrow.
Show my support with my colors
to get in. You know what I'm saying? Your other team, you know what I'm saying, the New York Yankees.
The New York team. Yes.
That's what I said. I said the other New York team.
Yeah.
You know,
just emphasizing it.
So an interesting thing happened today, and I want to get your take on it.
What's up?
Tarek Skubal, pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, won the baseball pitching triple crown: strikeouts, ERA, wins.
Okay. First time in a long time anybody's done that, huh?
The last person to win the triple crown was in 2011. Clayton Kershaw won it in the National League, and Justin Verlander won it in the American League.
Wait, he didn't do that with your Tigers, did he?
Of course he did.
But then also, didn't you guys have Mags that went for the triple crown too?
And then Miggy won the base the hitting triple crown.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what makes it interesting. Aaron Judge is having a fantastic season. 58 home runs, over 100 RBIs. He missed the triple crown by I think like seven hits or something like that. So or seven something. 7 RBI. He missed the triple crown by or something like that. But anyway, so he's also having an MVP like season. My argument is that Tarek Skubal is the MVP. He's also the Cy Young winner. Here's why he should win, in my opinion. MVP. He's already going to win the Cy as the best pitcher in baseball.
Okay.
Why he's the most valuable player. Well, this is why you kind of have to give him the award, in my opinion. Every Triple Crown winner ever has won the MVP, except for Ted Williams in 1947. He was the only person to win the Triple Crown and not win the MVP. That year they gave it to Lou Gehrig on the Yankees. There've only been 7 pitchers to win the pitching Triple Crown, with Skubal being the 7th. So it's something that doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
The last pitching Triple Crown winner, Justin Verlander, for the American League, won the Cy Young and the MVP that year. Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown on the hitting side, won the MVP that year, I believe, over like Mike Trout.
All right. So I have a question for you, but go ahead.
I'm feeling like they got to give it to him.
All right. So my question is how well were the team doing? Were they doing as well as the Tigers are doing right now, rank-wise? See, that might come into play because the Yankees, though, have a better record, don't they?
Tigers went to the World Series in 2011.
Well, they could have went in as a wild card, but see, that's the thing.
Here's the thing: they're both in the playoffs. The Tigers have the best record in baseball down the stretch. I think they're like 25-8.
Okay, but again, like Yankees still have a better record though overall.
Yeah, but it's about
so that might come into play in
I don't know.
regards
I don't know
to
because
importance
when Otani won it
to,
with the Angels,
performance.
when Otani won it with the Angels 2 years ago,
Oh, he's winning again this year.
the Angels were trash, and he still won. A
Yeah,
Rod,
because his numbers were outrageous.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are outrageous. This is an outrageous situation. You know what I mean?
But
If
again, like you said, like Judge is putting up some numbers too, some historic numbers, especially
there's,
back-to-back seasons.
there's always guys that put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like you're doing baseball a disservice if you don't. If you break a record,
Mm.
then you should just you have to win the MVP.
But you see that's what a lot of people had debated when it came to Verlander. Can they already have something for pitchers? Cy Young,
Yeah, they
like
have something for hitters too. Silver
yeah,
Slugger.
with the silver bat, yeah, the silver slugger. All right, but
They
come on
each
now,
have
like
individual
who?
award. They each have individual awards.
But you see, this is the thing. I'll probably say it's like MVP, Cy Young, Silver Slugger doesn't really come into play. Like really and truly, like they don't really drum up. Oh, and he's a Silver Slugger winner. They was always punch if you was a Cy Young finalist or a top three Cy Young nominee. But they don't ever punch up Silver Slugger at all, which is
I'm just
very
saying they have
weird.
their own award though.
Yeah, but they don't ever punch it up. So it's like MVP seems to be like the offensive kind of thing because Silver Slug is like whatever. You're the redheaded cousin, and there ain't nobody really paying attention to. Step cousin at that,
You
you
know,
know.
I feel like Otani should be the unanimous MVP in the National League. He went 50-50. Nobody's ever done it.
Yeah, and imagine the last person that ever created the 40-40 club was Jose Canseco,
Right.
and that's
But
questionable if he was on the juice at that point.
I also saw a stat today that Luis Arraez from I think he plays for the Padres now or somebody. He's won the batting title the last 3 years in a row on 3 different teams.
Wow. Mm.
That's crazy. Like these guys are putting up great numbers. I think there's a lot of great seasons, but I feel like the tiebreaker shouldn't be your record on your team. It should be if you
Mm.
broke a record. Like
Yeah,
if
when you
Aaron if
especially
Aaron
especially
if Aaron Judge would have won the Triple Crown, give it to him.
see especially in baseball because in baseball you have individual matchups. It's the pitcher versus the batter, right? So you have those individual matchups. So when you're called up or when your number comes up, it's for you to perform. And how do you perform in your moment? Now, granted, in your moment, you could have a no hitter going into the ninth inning and you give it up to the reliever and then end up losing 2-1, right? Or 2-0. Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or on a home run. So it's like in my moment, I did what I was supposed to do. Now I have to trust my team to finish it out. And that's the life of a pitcher. Know what I mean? Where now they have to depend on people in the field not to like throw the ball like Chuck Knobloch and shit like that and throwing it out to right field and shit like that, left field, or any which way he's throwing it. But as a batter, it's like, look, it's me against the pitcher. I'm having my moment. So it's not really about the record in a sense. So I see where you're coming from.
You know, um,
So yeah, he would get my vote. He would get my vote just based on the fact that he's done something that hasn't been done. He's only the seventh person in baseball history, a sport rich in numbers.
right. That's what I'm saying.
So that's why I said he'll get my vote.
It's a travesty. What I will say is that
Well, the vote hasn't happened yet, but still.
saying it better not. It better go the way that it's supposed to go. As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna be really mad and I'm gonna write a scathing internet post.
Uh,
However, if there
an
was gonna be
op-ed.
if the head to head was a tiebreaker, you know what I mean, then I'm okay with giving it to Judge because he be lighting Scuba up, sitting
Yeah,
429 against him with 2 home runs.
yeah. That moment when he hit that home run against the Red Sox, yo, that shit gave me chills, boy. Woo. That happened about like a couple of weeks ago or some shit like that. Yeah. Either way, like just the way that team is built, and I'll get to like building, like team building, but just the way that team is built, it's a it has some holes, but it's a solid team. It's a team to cheer for. Same thing with the Yankees. They got that grit. Yeah, I mean the Mets, I should say.
So if your Mets make the playoffs,
Hmm.
um, we're gonna do a playoff bet.
Yeah, let's do a playoff bet if they make the playoffs.
Word.
Wait. When they make the playoffs.
All right. Um, there's a potential for a Tigers Yankees matchup in the second round.
Mm,
So I mean that could be another little
yeah.
wager. Um,
All right.
let's talk about the W, man. It's the WNBA playoffs happening right now.
Yeah, I
Um,
kind of fell off on the W recently, though.
the Caitlin Clark
Sorry.
won Rookie of the Year, but she was scorching after the Olympic break.
Oh yes.
She put the league on notice.
Yeah.
She put
Yeah.
the league
She.
on
She,
notice. Super
she
Brick
really did.
is what I call Angel Reese now.
Come on, man. Yo, she's the Dennis Rodman of the
No,
WNBA. But
no. You can't even. I can't even compare her to Dennis Rodman. You know why? Because Dennis Rodman never missed that many bunnies. She's the bunny. She's a brick builder. Like, I mean, at least she's
you
getting
know that.
at least she's getting her own rebounds. But listen, if we're gonna criticize if we criticize the men's game, we're gonna criticize the women's game. You know what I mean? Like, she
I
gotta
would
be.
say the same thing in the men's game. Yo, there's other people trying to rebound the ball too. Yo, yeah, she put the shot up, box her out. Like, yo, what the fuck
Yo,
you doing? Why is she getting her own rebound?
well, that part, but she also gotta have better footwork. Like I would like to see her go
She's a
work.
rookie. She's a rookie. But yeah,
I would like to see her go work with like Brianna Stewart over the summer, or
Stewie. Yeah.
you know what I mean, somebody with great footwork in the W, or even go work with Hakeem. You know what I mean?
Well, see, again, she's a rookie. And see, the same way how they were saying how Jalen Brown had no left. I was like, look, as a professional, yeah, you recognize where your weaknesses are, but what you do is you try to get better. But during the season, you're not trying to work shit out during the season. Like, all right, I'm gonna just work to my strengths. Like, if they can't stop this, this is what got me here. So I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, but
The fuck?
some of this just like I understand missing like you put it up too fast, but then like all right, boom, grab the rebound, but like make the adjustment. You missing
No,
like
no.
you getting like 2-3 rebounds on a possession. Something, you know what I mean? She got to fix her game. She's hurt right now. I hope she gets better. You know, she's still all
There's a whole lot of challenges when it comes to the WNBA, especially the new WNBA, especially with social media and everybody having a brand, and you're trying to balance your brand and your ball at the same time, where previously it was just about the ball. It
well,
wasn't no branding when it came to women's basketball like
she got to hire a
that.
team now. You know what I mean? Have somebody else do your branding. You know what I'm
But you see that's a part of growth. That's a part of growth.
You can focus on ball. Call Asia
Yep.
Wilson, the 3-time WNBA
Yeah.
MVP. How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, my boo thing won the MVP again. You know,
Hmm.
um, call
Wait,
Asia
it
Wilson.
wasn't Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca Lobo didn't win nothing.
Come on, man. You know that's your favorite player all the time.
Nah, that's your boo thing. Get out of here.
Shout
Get
out to
out of
Rebecca
here.
Lobo. She finally
Yeah.
grew into her teeth. You know what I mean? She looks all right.
Oh goodness gracious.
Um,
Oh man.
but yo, shout out to there's a Yukon documentary out right now that I watched.
Did you
Um,
just say a Yukon dentist?
no, it's actually it's not a Yukon documentary. It's a Sue Bird documentary. Uh,
Okay.
who played for Yukon? Um,
Yeah. One of the great basketball
one of the
legends.
great basketball players. But yeah, it's a dope.
Hmm.
It was dope. But I'll get to that recommendation later. Go watch that. But anyway, Angel, go get with Asia and get your footwork right. Because the way she be fucking beasting motherfuckers. Somebody said the other day she could definitely get like 10 points in a regular NBA game.
Yeah, see, and it's kind of whack because of who he is. But she's like the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA. Like real talk. Like she's grabbing rebounds at high clips. But the thing is
She's
her
mostly grabbing her
offensive
own
set is
rebound.
trash. Huh? Yeah,
She's
her
actually
offensive set is trash.
yeah. Yeah, she gotta
But it's something to work on.
She got to get a
Like
bag. So,
Jordan didn't have a jumper when he first came in the league.
yes, he did.
It wasn't as wet as it was. He didn't have the turnaround. He didn't have the fadeaway
He didn't
when
have
he
the
came
fadeaway,
into the league.
but
When he first came into,
he came into the league with a nice jump shot, man. He won the NCAA championship with a three at the end of the game. Buzzer beater. Remember? It's all over
yeah,
the
no,
place.
no, no. People could make jump shots. I'm not saying that he couldn't make a jump shot. Like he was Brick City with a jump shot. Like he was Westbrook with a three. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he wasn't known for. It's like Vince Carter, right? Vince Carter was a great dunker. Right? He would chew you up, but he had a decent jumper. The thing that made him prolong himself in the league was is he stopped dunking so much and started taking more jumpers,
He didn't
and
stop.
he
He,
became
his knees got
no,
bad.
no, no. There was a time when he was saying that, look, I'm gonna stop dunking because it was wearing out his knees and his
Yeah.
back and everything. So he stopped. He peeled back on his dunking. Before he was like 80% dunk, 20% jump shot. He flipped it where he was more 80% jump shot and you know more threes, and then maybe dunk on a fast break. Other than that, he wasn't really trying to dunk.
Anyway, Jordan always had a jump shot. He always had a smooth mid range, man. It
His
wasn't like
percentage wasn't as high.
it wasn't like Sean Livingston, but it was
It
smooth.
wasn't. It wasn't as high. He was
Come
probably like a 40% jump shot shoot.
I don't. I think that that number is much higher than that. Shout out to Vince Carter though. They're retiring his number in Toronto finally, uh,
Yeah, that's why I brought him up.
which is super dope. Um, speaking of my Wu Tang Asia Wilson, they got cooked today by the New York Liberty. Uh,
Mm,
Brianna Stewart gave it that work. She had like 34 and 15 or
dude,
something ridiculous. Um,
New York baby.
Sabrina had a good game. Spike's out there being Spike,
Mm,
try,
yeah, you know.
yelling at the girls on the floor and shit. I love Spike Lee, man. He's like a real deal super fan, but like famous.
You know what the thing about Spike Lee is like he used to say like he remembered the time when he used to watch him on TV, and then he was able to get into the stadium where he was up in the rafters, and then he was able to come down a little bit more, and then through film and everything, he was able to get courtside.
Yeah. No,
You know
no.
that bullshit that happened with him and Dolan. That was just Dolan being a dick, and that's when they was like, look, Dolan, my guy, just pay attention to that sphere out in Vegas. We got this shit here. I'll talk about that later on, bro.
I like there needs to be more celebrities that are also super fans. Like I think
Real fan.
like real fans. Like Spike Lee is a real Knicks fan. Like he'll fight you over the Knicks, and you know
Mm,
he will. And it won't. It
mm,
don't matter that he's Spike Lee. Like he'll get after you. You start giving him issues about the Knicks. Uh,
mm.
Even like you know what I mean. But then I feel like there's like some fake super fans out there. You know what I mean? Like Dave
The Drake to
Portnoy.
the world.
Well, Drake, yeah, definitely Drake. But I was more referring to Dave Portnoy, CEO of Barstool Sports.
Oh,
He's all of a sudden on the map as like the biggest University of Michigan fan ever. And
that's why I'm like, well, why that name out of everybody in
uh,
the world?
no,
Because
he just
Denzel's a
came
true
out.
fan.
Like, listen, as a Michigan fan, you know what I mean. Like you pay attention to the guys who are like other Michigan fans, and I've never seen. I've been following like half kind of following Barstool for a while. I've never like all of a sudden this dude just showing up to the game since they won the Natty. He must have won like crazy money on it or something. Because now he's like, yo, I'll put up 3 million of my own money for them to like
Uh,
find a QB.
so now he's trying to buy into fandom
Yeah.
lore.
All of a sudden he's fucking, you know what I mean, like a super
He's
fan.
doing too much, as they like to say in the streets. He's doing too much.
You know, but I like to see like who's the big Dodgers fan? Not Bill Murray. Uh
Oh, Dodgers. Ooh.
there's like a huge Dodgers fan, and I know Paul Rudd is a huge since he's a huge Kansas City guy.
Hmm.
Um
Denzel Washington. He's just a huge sports guy. Like he'll show up at like a boxing match. Like he's that kind of guy. But like he doesn't just go to like the big matches. like respectfully, they don't put him on camera every time he's there. People respect his space and everything, but he'll go to like smaller fights, you know. So
Oh, apparently
Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson. Yeah, he's like the LA Superfan. I'm gonna rescind my earlier comment about Dave Portnoy. He's actually a University of Michigan alumnus. So uh, I had to look it up just to be sure. I don't like to talk shit about people and then
Look at that real time correction.
real time corrections. You know what I'm saying? I fact checked it
Mm,
before I started talking more shit. Yeah, shit got heavier. You know.
yeah, yeah. If anything, that is not my fight. I'm just making sure nobody else try to like come like from the backside and try to hit you with something stupid. I'm like, nah, man, chill. This
Hey,
this
bro.
this ain't for you.
So one Michigan fan to another Dave. You know what I mean? Get us a QB, bro. The Alex Jersey is trash. Oh, it makes me so sad.
I realize you've never made that real time correction when it came to Charlie Ward, but okay. Uh, uh,
What,
you see how I keep dropping little hints though.
what
But go
correction
ahead.
is there to make? Charlie Ward can get these buckets. You know what I mean? Charlie Ward can get these buckets. It ain't no corrections
Uh,
need.
oh man, I've been foreshadowing something too the whole time though by
I'll let
even saying
you
that.
come get these buckets, yo. Let's do this shit for charity. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I hit you with the eye Jamie.
mm,
Connecticut Sun in the Minnesota Lynx tied up right now in the third quarter, 57-57. We're doing live scoring right now, WNBA.
mm,
How you feel about these? I wanted to bring this up, speak because that's why I was kind of segueing through Dave Portnoy.
mm.
We had our first NIL dude uh,
Okay.
take an early red shirt at UNLV because they didn't come through with the bag like they said they was, but then they're
Hmm.
saying that we never made an agreement with homeboy. Uh, so
Nah,
we're
what
like,
he talking about?
we're on the same shit. And he's like, nah, y'all told me you was gonna bring the bag and you didn't bring the bag. You only brought this
Mm.
chunk change. So I'm out.
Hey,
Uh
yo, but they put up mad points yesterday. They put up like 52
yeah,
points, I think. 53 points
put up
yesterday.
53, I think, on Fresno State.
And
Uh
Fresno only had like 10, 13, some shit like that.
Michigan beat them by 20 in week one. I was there. I saw it with my own
Mm.
eyes. Um,
No, noise.
but
But
the shoe has finally dropped on these athletes.
yeah,
Being
we kind of spoke about that in like one of our early episodes where it's like the weird thing with NIL, and I didn't foresee that happening. I was like, look, if somebody's making more money through NIL, should they still be on scholarship at that point, you know? Because their NIL is able to pay for schooling and more. Like if you have a deal with Coca-Cola, why do you need the scholarship to go to the school at that point? You know? So it's like somebody like me or you that are walk-ons and we're able to get on there, we can't get a scholarship because it's going to this dude with his NIL and a scholarship. So he's getting paid twice.
well, there's no structure in the NIL. That's why it's still like the Wild Wild West.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The guy who runs the NCAA is a fucking. Well, we won't talk about him, but he's
Yeah.
pretty much been hands off on the NIL. So guys are just. That's why you see some folks getting like 4 million, and some guys
Hmm.
only get offered like 100,000. This dude was like one of the best QBs at Holy Cross ever. Broke all kinds of records. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And they tried to lure him. They only lured him with like 100,000. Like if I'm one of the best QBs out of Holy Cross, you're gonna give me more than that. But that's here nor there. There needs to be a
Yeah.
structure.
That's big money at Holy Cross.
There needs to be a structure to the process because
Hmm.
it's not equal. You know what I mean? If I'm a 5-star and I'm coming in and I'm lighting up, if I'm Arch Manning,
Mm.
you know what I mean, or Travis Hunter, my NIL should be bigger than the
Scholarship.
then my NIL should be more than someone else on the
Tuition.
team who's like maybe like a 3-star. You know what I mean? Who's not as well known because people are coming to see me. You know what I mean? So like I get that part, but there's got to be tiers to it because it can't be like everybody makes the same money. But also, from an athlete perspective, y'all got to make sure y'all get y'all paperwork together, because now you're in a situation where now I feel like he looks worse. Not, you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't have your paperwork in order and they only gave you a couple G's, you got to eat that or set your paperwork up. If you leave,
Well,
you got to hope, because now once you're in the portal, you also got to hope that there's a team out there that needs a QB. You know what I'm saying?
see,
And I'm looking
see,
at you right now, that
it,
that's willing to pay you what you feel
mhm,
like you're worth. But now also you left the team UNLV that was 3-0, and then their next game they didn't skip a beat. So
they
was it
actually
really, they
actually
actually,
went up a tick,
yeah, you know what I mean? So was it
got
really,
better.
is your value really your value? Because now he's got to
Yeah.
deal with that in the portal. Once you're in the portal, they don't have to pick you out of the portal. You can just be in
Mm,
it.
yep.
You know what I mean?
But you see, this is the thing too, and you saying all of that. That's going to be a new industry. That's going to be a booming industry. I'll say in the next 5 to 7 years, which is contract law, sports contract law. Contractual stuff, especially
Well,
with
it's
NIL.
already a booming
Bec-
industry, but I think now it's gonna fade into the college ranks. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's where it's going to be a booming industry when it comes to the NILs, because now for that kid that went from Holy Cross to UNLV, he has to get himself a lawyer. And a part of that deal on you uh, getting me to transfer there, because part of it too was is they were supposed to give him relocation money and they didn't give it to him. So it's like, yo, how you gonna relocate without any kind of money? Come on, my guy.
Well, he
Like,
got
are
the
you
deal.
that eager?
He
Like
also
he must have
made
been
the
just
deal.
that eager.
He also made the deal with the assistant coach. He didn't even make it with the top coach. So, like, bro,
And that's a problem right there too. And see, that's the thing. Like for him, he was probably just eager with seeing that amount of money. Like real talk, as a high schooler or like a freshman, sophomore in college, somebody comes to you with dreams of $100,000. We're gonna give you some money to relocate. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z. You know how exciting that could be for some people, and that's what it probably was for him. He was just a little bit too eager and like, and I need the decision in the next 24 hours, or else the deal's off the table. Oh shit. Who do I talk to? You know,
I don't know.
kind of
I don't
way.
know, man. Because
I don't know, but it's a possibility, and that's where I kind of give him a little grace with it. But still, yeah, can't be that eager. Because if somebody's willing to offer you
well,
100,000, maybe you could get 150 from somewhere else at a better
obviously there's a
school.
little grace, but if you're gonna leave the situation you're in, where you're already the top dog, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I
not
got to
like,
get my money up front before I leave.
but
Like
also
you
like
can't you can't say you're giving me relocation money and I'm not getting no money. I got to go out there on blind faith.
you gotta
Like I'm
be
not taking that gamble going out to Las Vegas. Hell no.
you got to be smart, but also there has to be that structure set up that says that
Mm,
the only way your NIL counts is if you speak to the coaches, like the head coach, the athletic director. Like,
yep.
if you don't, you like, everything has to be signed off by those guys, right?
And
I also think that all
mhm,
NIL money should go into a trust, and you have to be locked into the season. And
and,
if you leave, or
mhm,
then you give up your NIL.
mm,
I mean, like, if you redshirt because you're unhappy with your contract, then you give up your contract.
yeah,
I mean,
there's a
like,
clause where
you owe me games, and unless you get hurt, you got to play this game. You signed this paperwork. You know what I mean? You got guys redshirt, and after week 3, so they can get into back into the portal because they do 4 touchdowns in the first 2 games, and now they feel like their worth is more, and they want to try to
mm,
renegotiate a deal that they already signed. Bro, go to school.
yeah, yeah, nah, because coach asked him to do an extra lap. He's like, nah, fuck you, coach. I don't have to do this extra lap. Yes, you do. No, I don't.
Yeah, kids, and I mean, you're giving a lot of money to 19-year-olds,
And empowerment
18-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's
and
a power play.
entitlement.
You know what I mean? But if you lock that shit into a trust and make it so that, I also feel like if you're gonna give a kid NIL money, you got to give them at least enough to like cover their schooling.
Yeah, at least.
That should be like the minimum. NIL should cover the cost of the tuition, and maybe that's why they keep
Mm,
them on the scholarship so that that money can actually go in their pocket. You know what
mm,
I mean? Because if I keep you on scholarship, then your school's already paid for, and you get this like real money that you don't have to spend on anything else. But I do think it should go into a trust until they've completed their contract with, you know what I mean? But right now, it's still the Wild Wild West. Some people are doing it the right way, and some people are not.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like that's on purpose. They're keeping it open ended to see where all the faults are. So as time goes on, they're gonna let people operate the way that they are, and then they're gonna have to say, look, the way that you guys have been operating haven't been working for everybody. So let's make it about equality. Let's make it about equity for everyone on every level. It's gonna come to that point very soon because that's not right. He's just once. Well, there was another kid from that same school that said the same
Yeah,
story. I think it was a running back, and he ended up sitting out too. So the thing is those are just two stories that we know of. There's probably a hundred other more kids that have been promised other things too. So yeah, it's going to be a problem, and that's something that they're going to have to address within the next 3 years.
facts. Um, Yo, let's move into our segments. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, you know what I mean? What's on the mind of DJ Iron Monkey? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
What's grinding your gears, working your nerves? What's making you happy inside?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Tell us, Mr.
Ah
DJ Iron
yes,
Monkey. What's
yes.
on your
I'm
mind?
glad. I'm glad you asked. Uh, First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me. Thank you for caring about my thoughts, my feelings, and what's on my mind in the moment. So I'm gonna keep it as brief as possible and not be too draggy with it. But I was dropping little gems earlier in the show about Charlie Ward. Shout out to the New York Liberty. James Dolan and his management style. I said all of those things just to circle around the point to my New York Knicks making another trade the other night for Cat. Oh, wait, Carl Anthony Towns from
Oh yeah,
Minnesota,
soft cat.
aka Cat. Yeah, the Cat.
I
Yeah.
call him soft cat.
I'll get to that part. So, as we're building a team, as I was saying, referencing earlier about team building, the way that the Knicks are building their team is very nice in regards to giving the city something to cheer for. Because in getting Cat Carl Anthony Towns from Minnesota, we end up unfortunately having to get rid of Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, which I'll touch base on in a second. But with Carl Anthony Towns, it gives New York one of their first Dominican players, basketball players in New York to cheer for since Felipe Lopez. Felipe Lopez is a throwback to the mid to late '90s. He was a phenom in New York. Everybody loved Felipe Lopez. They cheered for him. But having New Yorkers come together, the Spanish community come together and cheer for him is a beautiful thing. And have somebody for us to cheer for is a beautiful thing. But then also re-signing OG Ananobi, it gives the Nigerian and the African and even the British, even well, he was born in London, but his family's Nigerian. But either way, it gives them a chance to cheer the African community, a actual good player to cheer for. Then there's Miguel Bridges, who we traded for from Brooklyn. Gave up a bunch of picks, but he's a very good, solid 3 and D player. Plays on both ends of the court. Good, solid defense. Will fit great in Thibodeau, along with Josh Hart, who's solid, and then the captain, who is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson left about like $113 million on the table when he re-signed with the Knicks, signing this year rather than next year because he wanted them to have at least some capital to make some moves and to be comfortable where they're not going to be like the old Knicks and mortgage their future for a moment. So I appreciate that with him. So now getting to DiVincenzo. Unfortunately, the Italians they're losing the White John Starks. You know, uh, yeah, I love DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo. I'm gonna miss that. Loved him. But if anything, we kept Deuce McBride, the point guard. We drafted him, but we kept him. So I like the fact that that they're actually looking at good community people, even when it's on the bench. So with that, Cat being soft, yeah, this is the thing with him. They've been circling around this trade for about like 2 or 3 years now. I've went back and forth with Cat in regards to like, yo, he was the one that Jimmy Butler was cutting out when Jimmy Butler was playing for Minnesota, and he went with the second team to go up against the first team, and he busted them. He's like, "Oh, y'all are soft." That's where Cat gets that label, right? This is where, as time goes on, yeah, people calling you soft, like how they used to call Tim Duncan soft. You develop, thicker skin. How Detroit used to beat up on Jordan. He had to learn to build thicker skin. Now, hopefully, and he's built thicker skin because Thibodeau was also the coach of that team, and Thibodeau ended up getting fired because maybe Cat was that soft guy that went to management and said something. Either way, now that he's with the Knicks, it's New York. He's from New York, Dominican, but he's not really the main guy. He's probably at worst the third guy. He's like the third option. He just has to play his position and stay healthy. So also contractually, he's on the contract for 3 years. Where Randall, he's due for his contract is up this year, so he could resign elsewhere, and we could lose him for nothing. I mean, so it was just a business move. We had to give up a first round pick, but whatever with that. We're fitting that first round pick would probably be late first round anyways because we're fitting to do something and make the playoffs and make a deep run. So when it comes to me and my Knicks, we're good. Yeah, Boston is still there. Milwaukee's still there. Miami's still there. Detroit is going to be a pesky team. Um, yeah, Toronto, Atlanta, Orlando, whatever.
Orlando's good. Orlando got a squad, man.
Orlando, yeah, and Orlando's real sneaky, especially with them tall dudes, Wagner brothers, and then with Rancho.
Bancho, Rancho
Yeah,
Cambero, whatever. I can't say his name.
yeah. The
Rancho,
dude, that
yeah, yeah.
Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, that guy.
Either way, man. First, I can't let you. I can't let you slide through without uh, arguing you down about Tim Duncan being soft. Tim Duncan was a rim
Nah,
protector. He was just fundamentally.
nah. He did have that label. He did have that label where he was soft because he was quiet and he was corny.
Oh
That
yeah,
was the label he had.
Cat Williams. I almost called him Cat Williams. Soft Cat is soft because he don't play no defense, dog. You know what I mean? I
Nah,
want
no, but he started to play defense after when Tibbs left. When even before Rudy Gobert got there, right? He was a rim protector. If anything, Randall is not that much of a rim protector either, right? If anything, the way that Randall spaces the floor is weird because when he's supposed to be on the post, he sometimes he just runs his own plays. It's just weird, Randall. It, even when I've seen games, they would hit like a jump shot to go up in a game, and he would get mad going at like the team would call the timeout. He would get mad that he didn't get the ball. Everybody's cheering. He's mad that he didn't get the ball. Like, come on, man. Like like that's bad business. Like you could talk all about, oh yeah, I want to stay in New York and all this kind of stuff, but nah, my guy, can't keep you and have you thinking that shit is cool. Probably told you about it like 4 or 5 times, and you're still doing it.
word. Yo, we're kind of
And
up
your
against it,
contract's about to be up.
right? We're kind of up against it. So let's skip. We'll skip internet fuckery. I've really been perusing the internet.
Mm.
The only thing I really want to recommend this week is I started watching the Mr. McMahon thing on Netflix.
Oh yes, that's
It's
on my watch list.
actually much better than I thought it would be, especially when he came out and said that it was like skewed. It kind of is, but also it really does like shine a light on like the genius of Vince McMahon. Like, you know what I mean? Like the dude is diabolical. I'm not gonna try to fade you on that, but
Mm.
like he took basically like he created the industry as it is now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it was regional. Wrestling was always regional.
Wrestling was very regional, and what he like his business model was crazy, and the way they break it down, and like the
Hmm.
shit that he was doing to people. Not all of it was good shit, but you know, and they talk about the whole WCW versus WWF situation, which I never really know the details on. I was just watching during that time, but
Nah,
like,
I knew some of it. Like that back then is when I used to be heavily into wrestling.
but that was like a very interesting like little section over there.
Mm.
And then like the whole situation with Bret Hart. But anyway, watch it. Um,
Uh, my spin off of my recommendation is to spin off of yours is that show Heels. It used to be on Stars, but it's now on Netflix. It had 2 seasons. It's about wrestling and down in Florida and Georgia, a city called Duffy. I don't know if it's a real town. It's about a family. I don't want to spoil it, but it's about wrestling. It's very good writing. Like some of the monologues, some of the scenes. It's like it's wrestling, but it's more in depth. It's different. It was very solid. So just a spin off of that, Mr. McMahon on Netflix. Check out Heels on Netflix as well. So that's my recommendation.
Word. Go check those out. Both on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? As you
One
get to
stop shop.
Netflix and you scroll past Amazon Prime, jump on and watch the collective real quick. See your boy in action. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mr. Mush.
my only thought for this week is that, you know, the Lions are on Monday night. They're debuting their brand new helmets and they all black
Mm.
in the black unis. So I'm excited about that. But also I'm gonna need them to go ahead and strap on the all black Air Force One spikes so they can like bring all the violence necessary to beat uh, the undefeated Seattle Seahawks this week on Monday night. And the game better be on TV, ESPN. I saw it was on ESPN Plus. That shit better be on ABC or something. And stop running
No, it's
these
on ABC. It's on
stop running
ABC.
stop running these games at the same time, bro. It's hard to watch
Yeah,
football.
that's weird. Double
Like
Monday night game.
games at the fucking same time. There's no need for them to overlap. Motherfuckers will stay up
Yeah.
late. Start the game at 6:30. Motherfuckers will watch that shit. You know what I mean? Start it at
Mm.
6:30. Start the next game at 9. That's 3 hours. Make it happen. Like people will stay up late. It's football. They do it. They do it now anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if you start the game at 8, it still ends at 11. So good to
Yeah,
go.
but it's still weird. Double Monday night games. Like
I kind
that's
of like it. They need to get rid of that fucking Thursday night garbage that they've been putting out there. And
nah. They should wait until after uh Thanksgiving, the way that it used to be, and keep it special. Because after Thanksgiving, that's when we used to get more Thursday games. But it was just Thursday, Thanksgiving. That was it.
it's a revenue
That's what
grab.
made it so special.
The NFL is about making money. So I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna argue that I'll take as much football as I can watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the sport. I even watched that the young kid from Alabama. He's like 17 years old, out there cooking. He's a
Mm,
freshman. Um, last name's Williams.
mm.
Uh, but the highlights are crazy. Yo, let's get into the top five before we get out of here. Top five time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a keyboard like my man Tank. You know what I'm saying? But if I get a keyboard and start singing like Tank, I'm gonna have to take my shirt off. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the way
AKA keyboard's not necessary.
the way my baby oil is set up, my baby oil connect
Hold up.
is in jail right now, so I can't get my baby oil like I need
Hold
it
up.
because my baby oil connect is in jail. So there's that. Um, this week on
Locked up.
the this week on the top five, we talking top five actors that used to be elite athletes. By elite, we mean like college or pros. Uh,
Hmm.
we don't care what you did in high school, bro. I was an athlete in high school too. You
I
know,
would consider myself an athlete.
but you want to kick this one off? This is
Uh,
your top five, so you got to
this is
kick
my
it off.
top five.
This is
All
your
right,
top
so
five right here, so you got to kick it off.
yeah, so let me kick this one for here for me and my DJ. So as we cha down this line here, I got number five. Now, even before I get to number five, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'll just say my honorable mention is Fred Dryer from Hunter. He was one of the guys that I brought up offline. He used to play football back in the day, but he used to be a football player in the NFL. So when it comes to my top, you know what, too? Another honorable mention, I'll go with Dean Kane because he was another one that I brought up offline because I never knew he played college ball.
Yeah, he was a
And
good
even
college
in
ball player.
college, yeah, he was a DB, and he had what 12 interceptions in 10 games. He
Yeah.
had the record for one time. So
He
that's
went to
dope.
went to
He
Northwestern, I think.
was it
Yeah, he
okay.
went to Northwestern. Big Ten
Uh,
school.
yep. So and he was on the what Lewis and Clark stories or whatever it was called. He
Yeah, he
played
plays
Superman.
Superman.
All right. So let me jump into my top five real quick. So my number five would be Bubba Smith.
Uh,
Played for the Colts, played for the Raiders, played for the Oilers. Bubba Smith is known from Police Academy. He was the big motherfucker in Police Academy. So Bubba Smith is my number five. My number four would be Fred Williamson. Unbeknownst to me, Fred Williamson was actually a Pittsburgh Steeler. He was a DB. So either way, Fred Williamson, aka the Hammer, in various films. I don't know if he was. I don't think he was in the Dirty Dozen, but he was in a couple of like army flicks and a bunch of other movies. But Fred Williamson, the Hammer, number four. So number three would be The Rock. Rock uh was he a linebacker for Miami, University of Miami?
yeah, he was at the U, but I mean, he's also a professional wrestler, which is kind of a
Yeah,
sport.
yeah, professional wrestler, but for the U, like people might not know that he was actually on that team with like Warren Sapp and all of them too. So he was actually on a like championship teams. So shout out to the Rock at my number three. So number two, I'll go with Jim Brown. Jim Brown played multiple sports. He was just a great athlete. And then he was in movies, a bunch of movies. I don't want to start running down the list of Jim Brown movies because then he started to become political. Started to become a little bit weird. But he also killed a lot of gang violence when it came to the Crips and Bloods. A lot of people might not know about that with Jim Brown, but Jim Brown is my number two. So controversially,
Your number one is Shaq, isn't it?
nah, controversially, my number one is O.J. Simpson because sports wise,
How is that
pure
controversial?
sports wise, well, his lifestyle.
The Hall of Fame running back, and he was in Naked Gun.
But it's controversial because he's my number one and his lifestyle, which now
What does
overshadows
his lifestyle
anything
have
else
to
he's
do
ever
with being?
accomplished in life.
What does his lifestyle have to do with him being a great athlete and also actor?
It's the fact that I'm acknowledging him as my number one.
He's never been convicted of a crime.
Um,
Well, the
yeah,
first time he stole
I'm
his
not.
shit. I'm lying because he did get arrested for stealing his shit back that he
Yep,
sold.
yeah, nah, and that's the funny thing. Also with kidnapping, because somebody tried to get up. He said, "Yo, sit your $5 ass down before I make change." Technically, that's called kidnapping because he prevented the guy from leaving. And then he stole back his own shit.
Which
Like,
is just super
I'm
weird.
not making any excuses either way for him. But he, sports wise, he was arguably one of the greatest running backs ever. Arguably.
Top five.
And then he pivoted, through the Mavis commercials and the Hertz run through the thing. Naked Gun. He was also in a show called First and 10. I actually watched the whole series on HBO when HBO was very young and they started getting into TV shows. It was a show about football and he was the GM of the team. But it was an interesting show. It was a different show. But yeah, OJ Simpson is my number one sports athlete turned actor.
Word. I knew your list was gonna have a bunch of old dudes on it.
Yeah, a lot of football heavy guys.
From the '70s. I tried to diversify my list a little bit. But we're gonna number five on my
Mm.
list is gonna be Carl Weathers. All right, Peter Carl Weathers. He played pro ball.
Oh, nice.
He played pro football back in the day. Um,
Mm,
I'm gonna go do my list quick. Number four on my list is gonna be Gina Carano. Um,
mm,
you know, world famous MMA fighter back in the day, turned actress. Um,
mm.
she's in Mandalorian season one. She's been in some movies. Super dope. That's Gina Carano. Number three on my list is going to be Jason Statham. Olympic level diver, turned actor. Maybe best known for the I don't know,
Transporter.
huh?
Transporter.
Transporter, among others. The Beekeeper is his most recent movie. He basically does
Yeah.
the same thing in every movie. He's like Liam Neeson. He just fucks shit up for 90 minutes. He's like the British Jackie Chan, maybe. You know what I'm saying? High action, no dialogue, lots of.
Nah, he's the British Bruce Willis.
Nah, Bruce Willis had a lot of dialogue in his movies. Jason Statham don't even talk in his movie. He just be fucking people up, and he says shit like,
Oh, yeah,
"Come
that is true.
with me," and then he fucks more people up. Unless he's doing like a Guy Ritchie film, but even in those films, he doesn't have a lot of lines. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
fuck you, blow.
Yeah.
All right, gee, that's a good one.
Number 2 on my list, Chuck Norris, aka Walker Texas Ranger, world champion, karate guy, competed all over the world.
I had him
Probably
too.
super long acting career. So Chuck Norris. My number 1, I went with home team for number 1. Very new to the acting game, championship boxer Kaylee Reese Cohen. Nominated for an Emmy for True Detective. She's got a couple movies out. Catch a Fair One is another great movie if you're looking for something to watch.
Great pick.
So I put her at number 1 since she's home team. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kaylee. She just had her first boxing promotion down in Philly this weekend. Shit looked like it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I did go with a lot of old black dudes.
Your whole list is like old black dudes from the 70s, but that all play football. Did you have any other sports on your list? Guys, ain't they? You didn't have no baseball players on your list, man. You didn't have Bob Uecker.
Damn, Bobby Uecker is a great one too.
Played pro baseball. You didn't even you didn't have Terry Crews, but a younger black dude.
Nah, but that's no football.
You could have went with
but Shaq.
Could have went with Shaq. Shaq is my honorable mention.
No, but if anything, I would have to say football produces the best actors. Basketball and boxing are probably at the bottom.
Come on, man. Have you not seen the Rocky movie? The acting is amazing in Rocky, dog.
Are they actual boxers? Like, no, see, like people like, come on now, this is the thing. With boxers, they're getting hit in the head a lot. So when it comes to them actually remembering lines and emoting at the same time, it's going to come off kind of funny. Like, what was his name? Hearns. He was on Martin. Like, they kept his lines very short and to the point. They probably did like 20 takes. Either way, like, even Sugar Ray Leonard, like, he has a certain way of talking. Maybe De La Hoya. Pacquiao. Like,
most athletes don't have. Oh, my other honorable mention is Ed O'Neill. He also played in the NFL. Al Bundy.
Yeah. But like baseball, maybe Bob Uecker. But like other than that, like wrestling probably has is probably second best after football. Produces the best actors. So
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But
hockey doesn't really chart.
A lot of guys play hockey though. A lot of guys play
hockey. But it doesn't really chart. Like Mike Myers might have played hockey, but not at any kind of professional level.
Yeah, I don't know too many professional hockey players that are in that are actors. I don't know if there are any. We'll have to check that out. But
I don't think curling's on that list either.
But that's our top 5. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna do it for another episode of DJ Caveman and IronMonkey talking that shit. We every Sunday night. We live on the YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you always get notified. You know what I'm saying? Like it and share it. Comment on it. Let us know how you feel about it. And we'll catch y'all next time. We out.